Our next guest, many years ago, was a clerk with Judge Gorsuch. Former White House Associate Counsel John Adams, with a great name, is with us today. John, welcome to the program. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Stuart.
You heard Leader Pelosi say, outside the mainstream of American law. What do you say, because you know Judge Gorsuch?
Well, look, Judge Gorsuch is not even close to outside the mainstream of American law. He's unanimously well qualified by the ABA, not exactly a group that strays outside of the mainstream too much. And most importantly, Stuart, I think it was a brilliant pick for the administration, in part because his brilliance and his qualifications you really can't question, and I think people are already recognizing that. But the other thing about Judge Gorsuch is he's just a good person. He's very polished. He's very kind. He's very genuine. And, you know, I heard you talking earlier about Democrats in states where Trump won. One of the main issues on the mind of voters during this election was the Supreme Court.
It was.
And now that president has given them an outstanding nominee. So I don't think he's outside the mainstream, and I think he's going to be confirmed.
Now, Senator Schumer released a statement. It was a statement against the president's Supreme Court pick. I'm going to read part of it. Quote, Judge Gorsuch has repeatedly sided with corporations over working people and demonstrated a hostility toward women's rights. That's Senator Schumer, leader of the Democrats in the Senate. John, what do you make of that statement?
Yeah, the most important thing you heard from Judge Gorsuch last night, and I think you played a clip of it right before I went on, was when he said, if you ever see a judge that agrees with every outcome of every case they decide, you probably have a bad judge. And that's the absolute truth, because judges aren't lawmakers. Judge Gorsuch is not pro-corporation. He's not anti-corporation. He's not pro-citizen, anti-citizen. He's a judge who is pro-Constitution. He understands that the Constitution protects the liberty of American citizens by restraining the power of government, and he's going to interpret the Constitution based on its text.
John, do you think he is a worthy successor to Justice Scalia?
You know, for those of us, I had the privilege of clerking at the Supreme Court for Justice Thomas and got to know Justice Scalia. I have a lot of friends who clerked for him and knew him. The man is a legend, and appropriately so. They're enormous shoes to fill, but I have to tell you, I think President Trump did as good a job as you can. This is a highly, highly capable, intellectual, good person to sit on the United States Supreme Court.
I just want to ask your judgment here, because you're a sober, judicial kind of guy. I hope you don't mind me saying that, John Adams. But
fine, I'll take it.
What about the presentation last night? It did seem to me to be a little like a reality show. We were kept on in suspense as to who the revelation was going to be, and the president said, here he is, all of a sudden. Did you like that kind of style? You think that's appropriate?
You know what? I got to tell you, Stuart, I'll disagree with you a little bit. There's always going to be some level of showmanship when President Trump is involved. But I actually think the ceremony was incredibly dignified. I thought it was incredibly well handled. And I don't know how you felt, but to me, once Judge Gorsuch got up there and started talking, you could just feel the presence of an eminently qualified jurist and a good person. And so I get the way the rollout was. That's classic sort of Trump. But I thought it was an incredibly appropriate ceremony for an incredibly important thing for this country.
John Adams, it was a pleasure having you, sir, John Adams, on this program. I know who historically John Adams was, despite my accent. John, thanks for being with us, sir. We appreciate it. We really do.
Thank you, Stuart. Have a great day.